Yo, what up, everybody? Happy Saturday. It is 299. What a card from top to bottom. This card's pretty nasty. We're going to go through the whole thing in depth, obviously, because Strike really hasn't given us much to talk about in recent weeks. Hopefully, we get some news this week, as it is approaching mid-March. So I would hope we get some news here in the next week, I guess you could say. Maybe by Friday, hopefully. We'll see. But with that said, I do have 2 packs to give away. So let's go ahead and get this first giveaway started, and we'll start talking some fights, most definitely. All right. Let me get it going here for you guys. First one is going to be Miami. Miami in the chat. Miami in the chat for a Fresh Faces base pack. Miami in the chat. Let's get them going. There we go. Let's get that Miami in the chat. Yeah, the card's nuts. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on the video. Flamin' Hot Cheeto and Sugar Show about to get canceled. I don't know. I don't know. Got all the Miamis coming in here. 299 is fire. That is correct. So I'm going to share my screen while this giveaway runs. I'll run it. I'll run the winner right before we start talking about the main card. And I'll have another pack for the main card. I got a Maple Rush base pack too for the main card I'll give away. So let's get it cracking. 299, guys. Man, out in Miami, Florida, it's going to be a hot one tonight. That's for damn sure. Man, I'm going to start at the bottom. So I did some note taking this week, just because I didn't have much to talk about, so I figured I'll talk a little bit in depth. Took some analysis from a couple different people. Kind of took what I liked, and kind of came up with my own formulation based on what I read and some research. So we'll see. We'll see how the picks hold up this week. But it should be a really, really fun card. I'm looking forward to it. Jan Season. What's up, gang? All right. Everybody's popping in. First fight of the night. Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. So this fight is a rematch. These ladies fought a while ago, almost 10 years ago in 2015, where Moroz saw a victory via submission. Rear naked choke. This is also Joanne Wood's last fight. She has already announced that this is the last fight of her career. So, with that said, she does have a couple losses. She's like 1-3 in her last 4, and those were all to top competition like Alexa Grasso, Tayla Santos. Some top level girls who she lost to, and she went on that losing streak. She is coming off of a win against I think Luana Carolina, which was about last year in March. So right around last year she fought. So she's about 1 year out of her last bout. One thing that does jump off the page, obviously, guys, is the age difference, 38 versus 32. And then Moroz does have a 2-inch reach advantage, but you never know. Usually, honestly, I'm leaning towards Moroz. I think she's going to get it done, but I wouldn't be surprised with Joanne Wood knowing that this is the last fight of her career if she lets it all go and leaves it all in the octagon. maybe she edges out a decision or something. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to lean on Moroz getting it done for our first fight of the night. Always rooting for the old chicks. That's funny. That's pretty funny indeed. We'll see. She might win. I think. It's on record that this is her last fight. So if she's got that mentality that she's going to go out there and put it all out there, and she might overwhelm somebody like Moroz. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next fight. CJ Vergara versus Asu Almabayev. All right, so Vergara missed weight, 1 pound over. This is his third time missing weight in his UFC career. This guy's got a problem making weight at flyweight. And he's kind of, I don't know if you could call him a weight bully because he doesn't look too big at that weight class. But, bro, 3 times to miss weight, it's tough, bro. It's tough. And one thing about Vergara that I noticed in a lot of his fights, granted, he kind of finds a way to survive in some of them against some lower tier competition. But Asu's a different level. I think above anybody that he's faced. So Vergara tends to make mistakes, especially early in fights, and Asu's the type of guy who's going to capitalize on that mistake, probably grab his back, choke him out. And you definitely don't want to be on the ground with this guy. And CJ does find himself on the ground, especially if you look at his last 3-4 fights. He's been taken down and held down good amount of time in those fights. So I think light work for Asu, probably finish. I'm thinking first round, probably first round. I don't think this sees a third round. I think Asu finds the finish when Vergara makes some sort of mistake and keeps us rolling on the early prelims. All right. Mr. Rogelis Despaigne versus Josh Parisian. So this is an interesting one. Despaigne, UFC debut, fighting Parisian, who is 15-7, not the most athletic dude. Despaigne, like high level, I guess Taekwondo, like Olympic gold medalist in Taekwondo type deal. And he's had some MMA fights, but none of them have gone like longer than like 30 seconds type shit. Like everything ends instantly. He's knocking people out, which is good, props to him. But that's it's not at the UFC level, right? So it'll be interesting to see how he does in his debut. Obviously, his reach jumps off the page at 84 inches, which is pretty crazy. So, if on the odds say he's the real deal, right? 400 minus 400 plus 300. But this guy's obviously never fought longer than like a minute in MMA. So if Parisian somehow handles the initial onslaught from this guy, who's to say that he might gas? Who knows? Who knows what his gas tank is? Nobody knows. Nobody knows because he hasn't been past like 30 seconds, a minute in a fight. So it's really kind of unknown territory with this one. It's kind of crazy that they put 400 odds on him, especially because he hasn't really, he hasn't fought in the UFC, and you don't really know. You don't really know. But if I have to pick, on paper, that reach is going to be a problem for anybody, especially with these big boys. So I'm going to go with that reach and height. I'm going to lean on Despaigne, but, hey, some crazy shit can happen, and I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see. We'll see. Big Whale's going with the Shadow Man, Despaigne. I'm with Big Whale 82 the same. All right, yeah. Yeah, we're all rolling with Despaigne here. Yeah, I hope he wins. We'll see. We'll see if he's the hype, you know. It's nice to have some more like super athletic, you know, guys like this coming up in the heavyweight division. Seems like this year, tail end of last year, is kind of like a passing of the guard in a lot of divisions in the UFC, with older guys like, you know, turning into gatekeepers, and the younger up and comers are knocking people out and taking their spots. This card has a lot of those fights on it, and we'll get there in a minute. Once we get to the main cards, quite a few on the main card there. So next one. Michel Pereira versus Michel Oleksiejczuk. I don't know how to say his last name, but this guy's a fucking beast. I like him. I like him a lot. This is a great fight, bro. This is one of my fights that I have circled for potential fight of the night candidate. Both these guys like to come and bang. I don't. There might be some grappling here, but probably not much. Maybe more defensive grappling if somebody gets rocked or hurt. One of the guys is going to shoot or something like that. And then we might see some grappling scrambles in that sense. But it's going to be really interesting because Pereira does have holy shit, this is funny. Pereira by backflip knockout round two. Bro, he almost busted his shit. Did you see he almost sent that scale flying into the stands when he did the backflip at the weigh-ins? It's pretty funny. But it's going to be interesting because this guy, guys don't remember, but if you guys don't remember, this guy used to fight at light heavyweight. And he comes down to middleweight in this fight. I think this is his second fight at middleweight, and he's been successful at middleweight. And he does probably have the power advantage in the hands. Pereira is going to be throwing all kinds of crazy kicks and stuff like that, most definitely. But Pereira does gas. That's one thing that if his fights go second round, halfway through the second, third round, this dude definitely starts gassing just because of the amount of volume and crazy spinning and wild shit he throws throughout the fight. And I wouldn't be surprised, man, because this dude likes to put the pressure on the whole fight. He loves putting pressure on people, and he's got a chin. Definitely got a chin. So this should be a real fun one. I'm excited. I think if Pereira doesn't catch him in the early with something, my boy Michal is gonna take it, and I'm leaning towards him taking a brutal decision war against Pereira. That's my prediction here. Taking the dog plus 125. And Miami's hot, dude. Miami's hot. Humid and hot. So the gas tanks are going to be definitely on display. Next up, Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. Another potential could be fight of the night, but I honestly, this one specifically, I do not think this one goes the distance at all. Somebody's getting their block chopped off. Age difference is pretty wild, right? 38 to 30. Both guys have pretty similar records. Lins carries the much 3-inch reach advantage. These guys come to throw bombs. So I know a lot of people like the Hulk, bro. A lot of people like the Hulk. Hulk's been on a couple receiving ends of some bad KOs, personally, based on my knowledge in recent memory. And he's definitely a true brawler, right? That's why everybody likes him. He's a true brawler, but his chin's definitely been tested. And Linz is more efficient with his strikes. So I think when Cutelaba's like rushing in, throwing something a little out wild, something like that, I don't know, man. I think Linz can catch him, and I think Linz is gonna knock his ass out. So should be wild. Should be a wild fight. But somebody's dropping. My pick, I'm going with the dog, Felipe Linz. But somebody's socks are getting knocked off for sure. Somebody's gonna hit the ground. Most definitely. Linz did look like he was on the A. He came in pretty fit, man. He came in pretty fit. Both guys were booked to fight each other a while, not too long ago. I guess one of them got injured or something. So looks like they're chomping at the bit to get at it. So that should be a real fun fight. Cutelaba versus Linz. Those are the early prelims. Now we get into the main prelims. First one of the main prelims is Pedro Munhoz versus Kyler Phillips. So, striking difference on the paper. We got the 37-year-old Pedro versus the 28-year-old taller and larger reached guy in Kyler Phillips. On paper, you would think, and by the odds, you would think, oh, this young dude's going to walk through prelim Pedro. But that's what I just said. Prelim Pedro. Mythical fighter. Dude's been looking pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Dude's been looking pretty decent. And usually in these situations, I roll with the younger dudes. But Pedro is probably one of the most durable dudes in the bantamweight division. He's extremely, extremely hard to put out. And Phillips is definitely a guy who tends to gas. So I'm picking gas tanks this fight card, but Phillips does definitely gas in the later rounds in his fights. And also Phillips, he was really good when he mixes in his striking and then gets takedowns and stuff like that. But honestly, Pedro's really hard to take down, especially for taller guys. He's got really good takedown defense. I don't think the takedown defense is here, but I'm telling you, his takedown defense is top notch. Probably top 5 in his weight class. And he knows how to fight taller dudes. So I'm leaning on prelim Pedro, sending the young buck back to the drawing board. I think prelim Pedro gets it done. He stuffs the early takedowns, makes it a striking match, chews up his legs. Pedro's got really good leg kicks. I think he gets it done, slows this kid down, and breaks him in the later rounds. It's my prediction. Pedro. This fight, on the other hand, is a little bit different story with our older guy versus. See how we got these passing of the guard fights, like 10-year gap, 10-year gap. These guys are same age, 10-year gap. So quite a few gaps in the age on this card. It's like passing on the torch card. So I got Pedro holding on to the torch. Gamrot versus RDA. So 39 years old, RDA. And he's getting up there in age. He's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as explosive as he used to be. And he really struggles against high-level wrestlers and people that are actively and offensively wrestling a lot. he doesn't do well against those guys, especially if they get a hold of him early. By the end of the fight, the dude's got nothing left. And Gamrot's a guy who will shoot takedowns relentlessly for not 3 rounds, for 5 rounds, for 10 rounds. He'll do it all day. So I think RDA is going to have a tough night in the office. I think Gamrot wins by decision. Lots of takedowns by Gamrot, some ground and pound. I don't know if he'll sub him or anything like that. Maybe a ground and pound, TKO maybe, but RDA is also very durable, hard to put down. I know Fiziev put him on his ass, but that's a whole different animal right there. So I think it's going to be a Gamrot decision here, and I'm pretty confident in that, and so are the odds makers. Next fight, Cerminara versus Barber. Where's Big Whale at? Cerminara versus Barber. Another passing of the torch type of fight here. 35 years of age, Cerminara versus the 25-year-old Maycee Barber. Maycee obviously has been fighting well her last few fights, and she's now trying to break into the top of the division. Definitely on paper and you know, skill set wise, Cerminara is definitely the better striker. Definitely has better footwork, definitely better movement. So she's going to really need to utilize that to try and stay away from Maycee. The only way you really stop Maycee, I think, in this division is you got to have somebody that has clean and crisp footwork like Cerminara, but has knockout power or really, really good power in their hands. Because I don't think Cerminara possesses the power like her jabs and stuff like that. I think Maycee will just do what she needs to do, eat those shots, walk through them just to get her hands on Cerminara, get her in the clinch, get her up against the cage, get that dirty boxing going, make it a slugfest, get it to the ground, maybe some ground and pound. But I do see Maycee getting it done. I think she probably wins. What I got. And also, another note, Maycee does fight better and makes good adjustments as fights go on. So she will turn it up if she knows she's behind on the scorecard. So like in the first round, let's say Cerminara gets her game plan off, you know. And I think she might win the first round. Honestly, she might win the first round just with footwork, piecing her up, jabs here and there. And after that, she'll go to her corner. Maycee will. And she'll start turning it up like she does in most of her fights. But I'm leaning Barber by decision or late stoppage. Maybe a ground and pound, maybe a subby. But it'd be late. I don't think it'll be early in the fight. That's my prediction there. Maycee takes it. Young Buck taking the torch, that one, and this one. Can't really call Gamrot a young buck, but you can against RDA 39. How about it? All right. Main prelim. Blaydes versus Almeida. Now, this is an interesting fight. Damn. I was doing a lot of thinking about this one too because it's tough. It's tough. We got to see if Almeida, like, because we're talking about Blaydes here. He's a top-notch wrestler. Does his wrestling nullify Almeida's grappling? Is Almeida able to get him to the ground? Blaydes usually is an offensive wrestler. He's not really a defensive wrestler. How's his takedown defense? He's really never had to fight anybody that's going to be actively trying to take him down, right? Versus that's usually his game plan against the heavyweight division, pretty much full of people that don't know how to grapple or wrestle. So that's usually where he finds his success. So now he's in a situation where somebody has success or maybe even better success in that area than him. So it's going to be interesting to see how that first initial shot grappling exchange takes place and who's going to get the better of it. If Almeida takes him to the ground in the beginning of the night or the first time they come together, I think it's going to be a rough night for Blaydes. But I would think if they nullify each other, they can't really get each other down on the ground, right? And it turns into a striking match, which could happen. Could happen. We haven't really seen much striking from Almeida, so I would like to see it. I would personally like to see something like that happen where first round they negate each other when they're having grappling exchanges and then just decide to stand and trade. And I think I would really like to see how well-rounded Almeida is, especially with his hands, because Curtis Blaydes is a pretty decent striker for a heavyweight. He's not the best striker, but he's pretty good. He's good. So it would be a good test to see how Almeida's hands are versus his in the striking game. But if I have to pick one, I think I'm going to have to go with Almeida. I think I'm going to go with Almeida, guys. I think I'm going to go with Almeida. Let the hype train continue. But we'll see, man. We'll see. This is his biggest test of his career. I hope he gets it done. But it's going to be a tough one, most definitely. So we'll see what happens. With that said, we're rolling into the main card of the evening. And with the main card coming up, I got to run that first giveaway for Miami. Don't forget, type Miami in the chat. Let me pop it up real quick here. Got my screen shared incorrectly. Hold on. Oh. Miami in the chat. Let's get the Miamis. This is for the Fresh Faces base pack. See the Miamis out here. Winner's going to get the Fresh Faces base pack. And then we will run the Maple Rush base pack after this. And I'll give you something to type in after that as well. I'm going to give it another couple seconds here before we start chatting about that main event. Whee! Should be fun. Should be fun. All right. Last few seconds. Get in the chat here. Miami in the chat. All right. Pulling it off. Good luck, everybody. See who gets that pack. Get my pen. Real wins the Fresh Faces base pack. Congrats, my man. Congrats, brother. That's what's up. All right, next one. Let me get it going. We're going to do $2.99 in the chat. $2.99 in the chat. $2.99 in the chat. This is going to be for the Maple Rush base pack. And we'll run that right after we talk about the main card. Let's go. $2.99s. Let's see them. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up on the video for your boy. Hit that thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me out, I guess, a little bit. But on that note, main event starts off with a bang. Absolute banger. Another fight of the night candidate. Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. I mean, this is a great fight. This is a great fight. Both guys are super tough. Both guys are really hard to finish. It's going to be tough to finish either one of these dudes. They keep coming. They take beatings, and they don't quit. They keep getting up. How long ago did Yan fight? Yan hasn't fought in a little while. Last year, he lost to Moroz. Last year, he lost to Moroz. He lost to Sugar, Moroz. So it's been about a year since he fought. But same reach, practically the same height. Stats are very, very similar. Yan does tend to use his wrestling a little bit more. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Cardio is not going to be an issue for either guy. One thing, though, I don't want, like, Peter Yan, in the fights that he's been losing, he starts really slow and then starts pouring it on, later in the rounds, which is good, like maybe for like a 5-round fight. But when you're fighting like somebody like Song Yadong, you got to come out aggressive right from the get-go. And I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough fight because Song hits hard. Very technical striker. So it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to go decision. Think it's going to go to decision, but honestly, heart says Peter Yan, but mind says Song Yadong on this one. I think Song's going to get it done. Song's going to get it done. I think Song's going to get it done. Now the next fight. Wow. Another passing of the torch fight. What do we got here? Let me see. Sorry, I missed some comments. Who's Dong Yadong? Remember the days? Yeah, how about it? The good old days, huh? Song KOs him, but I've never liked Yan, so maybe I'm just hopeful. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yan, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I think it goes decision, honestly, because they're both tough as hell. They're hard. They don't get finished, Granted, anything could happen. Somebody could catch somebody with a nasty knee, hook, whatever. But usually those are the type of guys that eat that shit and keep coming like zombies, So that's what I'm expecting. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. JDM trying to break into that top upper echelon of the weight class of the welterweight division. Sitting with a 2-inch reach advantage over Gilbert Burns. Definitely loves to stand and bang. Will be interesting to see if JDM has done anything with his groundwork. Burns' new helmet gives him an edge. No, it's not a helmet anymore. He got it braided last night. Go watch the ceremonial weigh-ins. It's all braided up now. He's trying to be like Jorge in Miami. But JDM definitely has some grappling issues. When he took that fight, that dude came in short notice, Basil, and he was taking Burns down. JDM, sorry, he was taking JDM down left and right. But Burns is also now 37 years old. He's definitely not as fast as he once was or as powerful, but he is still an ace on the ground. He's still an ace on the ground. And if he gets the fight to the ground, which I think he can, based on somebody like Habibi. Yep, the Habibi. That's right, Big Whale. The Habibi gave JDM a run for his money. Yeah, that guy was taking him down. He was grappling him and wearing JDM down a lot. JDM's gonna definitely, if JDM's path to victory will be to use his reach and footwork to stay on the outside and pick Burns apart. That's what he has to do. Burns' chin is a little sus. It's a little sus. I'm not gonna lie. He's been rocked for sure. In the last few fights, all 3 fights, I think his last 3 fights, he's been rocked. Don't know about the Jorge fight, but definitely got rocked against Bilal. Definitely got rocked against Usman. Definitely got rocked against Khamzat. So he can get rocked. And if he gets rocked, JDM is a finisher. So he's going to have to avoid anything, dangerous coming his way from JDM that first round or so. And I think it'll be tough. It'll be tough. But if it goes to the ground, I wouldn't be shocked if Burns gets a subby, right? With that said, I like Burns as the underdog here, holding it down. I don't know if JDM has made the improvements in the grappling. Cause that he really got there. Let's go take a look. Three takedowns, 20 shots, 6 minutes of control time. Yeah, it's tough, man. This guy's probably nowhere near the level of Gilbert Burns, or maybe he is, but he came in on short notice. We're talking about Gilbert on a full camp. It's a tall task for JDM. If he's worked on his grappling and made some improvements there and can keep the fight on the ground, he'll have some success. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Not in that time span between those 2 fights. When was that last fight he had? Wasn't too long ago. September. No. July. Then he fought Kevin Holland. Yep. Speaking of Kevin Holland, yeah, so I'm going Durinho. Holland versus Michael Venom Page. Second Bellator transplant coming over to the UFC. Or no, not second. Second transfer over. Not necessarily Bellator. Askren came from ONE FC. But all that shit aside, Bellator, man, perennial Bellator title challenger contender, MVP, makes his UFC Octagon debut 36 years old. Does give up some reach and some height to Kevin Holland. But the question everybody wants to know is Kevin Holland going to use his grappling? Is he going to use his jiu-jitsu? Or is he going to stand and bang with this guy? If he does go with the grappling, it's going to be an easy day for Holland. But if he does want to stand and bang like he did, like when he's fought Wonder Boy, for example, which a lot of people are trying to use that as a factor for this fight or gauging, like how to gauge this fight, you know, Holland versus another karate-style fighter, which was Wonder Boy. But I don't know, man. I don't think you could say that they're the same type of fighter. This guy's a way more unorthodox. He does a lot more, unorthodox stuff. And Holland's the type of guy that is unorthodox as well. So it should be really interesting to see how this plays out, honestly. Special walkout for him. Oh yeah, he's gonna have some special music or something like that. That's cool. Holland. Want Holland, but I'm taking MVP. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly think, like, speed-wise, Kevin Holland has real fast hands, man. And even in the striking situations, I think Holland's going to find the mark, man. At least more than MVP. Maybe puts him on his ass, maybe not. But I don't know, man. I don't know. With the kicks included and all that stuff, it's tough to not go with our boy Kevin Holland. And if it lands on the ground at all, anywhere, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know the UFC's hyping him up, but kind of got to roll with Holland. Got to see. It's a big test for MVP coming in with his first UFC fight. This man has been slept before. I've seen him knocked out before, so Holland finds his chin. Could put his ass down, bro. And he's done it before to a couple people. So I'm leaning with Kevin Holland getting it done. To the co-main event. Another passing of the guard fight. Here we go. Dustin the Diamond Porier versus Benoit, the God of War, Denis. What a fight, huh? What a fight. I got some notes here. Let's see what I got. Between the two of them, I have Porier as the more technical striker. BSD he's a good striker, but I would say Dustin's more of a sniper. Way more efficient in his strikes. BSD does throw a lot more power when he's throwing. And he does throw that power to try and initiate grappling exchanges, clinches, stuff where he could throw his elbows, legs, kicks off the break, shit like that, you know. He throws the power to get his opponents off balance and then initiates clinches, getting guys against the cage, and then he starts throwing, them elbows, those bombs and stuff like that. He's going to definitely have to close the distance here against Porier, who will be utilizing his footwork to try and stay away from this crazy, this powerful beast who's trying to take his head off. He's going to try and, he's going to have to pick his shots wisely. But one thing about BSD is he's definitely hittable. He's definitely hittable. Not the best defense. Doesn't have the best head movement, which is not good against a guy like Dustin, who loves putting it on people, especially when they're taking a breath or something, hands go down. Dustin's the guy who's throwing a jab right in your face right away, instantly. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. I think if BSD does not find a way to put just Dustin out early, Dustin can rally and win this fight. Yeah, and I think and it'll be another interesting thing to see if Dustin goes with the leg kicks against BSD to slow him down. Because on paper, Dustin's game, he matches up pretty good with a guy like this with the leg kicks, the quick hands. If he chops the tree down and starts working him, breaking him here, there, one leg, the other leg, jabs working. He could do it. But the question is, coming off that nasty KO loss to Justin Gaethje, how's he going to be with that? Is he going to be a little bit timid? Is he going to be a little bit hesitant, like a lot of those guys are when they're coming off those bad losses? But yeah, this is right. This is right. Most definitely. Southpaw versus Southpaw is violence. Southpaw and Southpaw violence, most definitely. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see if he's a little hesitant, like the last few guys like Usman, Volk. It'll be interesting to see those guys coming off bad KO losses and how they do afterward. And facing somebody with crazy power like this dude for the division, you're definitely scared of that fucking knockout. I'll tell you that much, most definitely. So, honestly, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough, Heart says Dustin, mind says Benoit. But I'm going to look at this fight. If you're a gambling person, I wouldn't touch this fight until like round 2. Try and bet it live. Cause man, it's a tough one. Cause I can see Dustin maybe surviving, rallying, and winning the fight by decision, maybe towards the end, or even putting this guy out with the pressure, because he keeps coming. But this guy is a machine right now, Benoit, and yeah, if Dustin wasn't coming off of that nasty Gaethje loss, I would like his chances a little bit better. But I think he might be a little bit too timid, too hesitant to maybe engage with this guy because he's worried about that power coming back, which eventually is just going to work against them. And I think Benoit Saint Denis takes the torch, unfortunately. Hate to say it, but damn. That one hurts a little bit. Not going to lie. Fan of DP. But with that said, here we go. The main event of the evening. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. Man, this is going to be a good fight. Hopefully it lasts longer than the last one with the bullshit injury and whatever. 5 rounds. I don't know if it'll go. Might go the distance. You never know. You never know. Definitely a rematch that was years in the making from Sugar Sean's perspective, because he said it was a fluke. It's not really a loss on his record. Bada bing, bada boom. But one thing Cheeto is definitely one of the most durable fighters in the bantamweight class, and it will be absolutely extremely difficult to finish him. He has great defense. He usually struggles against wrestlers and guys like that, so this is going to be a striking fight. And it's really hard to finish Cheeto. Has great, keeps his hands up, great defense. Shots are efficient. And one thing, though, I don't like about Cheeto, especially in his last few fights, similar to Peter Yan, is he starts the fight slow. Like, he always pretty much gives the first round to his opponent. Just kind of making his reads on the fighter that he's fighting. But he does tend to... Yeah, exactly. Would Cheeto please come out fast for a change? That's what we need to see. If Cheeto comes out, I mean, hopefully he does. He's been in the octagon with the guy before. I mean, granted, it was probably a little while ago, but similar shit, right? It's not like his stance has changed. His overall style, O'Malley's the same. And he was in there and felt him out before, right? So hopefully Cheeto doesn't just, do what he usually does every first round, takes it kind of easy. I don't know if he's preserving his energy for like the later rounds or just kind of getting his reads and just processing data. But man, you can't, like, when you got a championship belt on the line, bro, you can't be giving rounds, you can't be giving points away, because that's the shit that'll screw you if this fight goes to the decision. I will say, in the fights that O'Malley has gone further distance, like third, fourth, fifth rounds, he gasses a little bit. Cheeto's got a gas tank. So that's one thing Cheeto might be trying to do to get this fight into the later rounds and then starts turning it up and putting it on O'Malley. I think Cheeto's definitely going to be kicking the shit out of O'Malley's leg as much as possible to slow him down. Maybe hit that nerve again and put his ass out and take the belt with that same kick. I don't know. But I, honest to God, believe that it's going to be a very close fight. I don't think either one gets finished. I think this fight goes the distance. I think it's a controversial decision that goes, maybe Cheeto wins, but the decision goes O'Malley's favor, and then it's 1-1, and the UFC has to do a trilogy. Bang. Moroz sits on the bench longer. That's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. But I think Cheeto's going to get it done. I think Sean O'Malley's a little shook right now, especially I think when he was coming down to Miami. I thought he probably felt the crowd was probably going to be in his favor. I thought he felt he was going to have a little bit more support down there. But the crowd yesterday and at the weigh-ins and everything, man, it's pro Cheeto. Crazy Cheeto crowd down there. So I don't think O'Malley was expecting it, and he seemed a little shook. Honestly, like at the press conferences and stuff, when they ask him a question, he starts getting booed like crazy. Hear his voice cracking a little bit. So I think he's a little shook. He's a little shook right now. But yeah, I think, I don't know, man. Cheeto doesn't get finished. And he gets better as the fight goes on. Sean gasses as the fight goes on. So that's what I'm basing my prediction on. So I mean, Cheeto's great defense. I'm telling you. He's going to take it out on Cheeto's face. Data's Empire sits with Sugar. Nah, I don't think just Sugar. Not just Sugar. He got Poatan. Poatan's a good champ right now. Very popular guy. People love him. I like Poatan. But O'Malley's hand breaks before he KOs Cheeto. Yeah, I'm saying Cheeto's durable, man. You can't knock his durability. The guy does not get finished. Doesn't get finished. So I'm liking Cheeto to shock the world and shock Vegas. Take everybody's money. Go with Cheeto Vera. And then the trilogy fight might be there. Who knows? If they give it to Sean O'Malley, who knows? You know, if Cheeto beats his ass rounds 3, 4, and 5, and then the judges somehow give it to Cheeto or give it to Sean, everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck? Oh, let's make a trilogy. Okay, we'll make a trilogy. Boom. There's your trilogy. 1-1 for the trilogy. And on that note, everybody, we're pretty much done. I got this last giveaway to run. $2.99 in the chat. Maple Rush pack. Maple Rush pack. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate it, everybody, for hanging out. Should be some fun ones tonight. I'm excited. I am excited. Couple more seconds. $2.99 in the chat for the Maple Rush base pack. And then we will call it poker starting up in a couple hours. Not sure how soon exactly, but maybe like 2 hours from now. I think 2 hours before the prelims start, poker starts, strike poker. Pick'ems are still live. Make sure you get your pick'ems in if you haven't already. But some good fights tonight. I'm excited. Some torches are going to be passed to some new blood, and maybe some the old guard's going to stand their ground. Send those young bucks back to the drawing board, back to training to get better, come correct next time. We'll see. I'm excited. Should be a fun card, though, most definitely. $2.99 in the chat. Good luck, everybody. Gonna run it right now. In 3, 2, 1. Good luck, good luck. Maple Rush goes to Big Whale. Congrats, dude. Big Whale 82 wins the Maple Rush base pack. Nice work, Big Whale. Nice work. And on that note, everybody, I am out of here. Hope everybody has a good rest of your night, evening. Fights are going down tonight. It's going to be some bangers. I'm excited. Don't forget to do your pick'ems. Strike poker starts in a couple hours. Other than that, till next time, y'all, I'm out. Peace.